I bet you're asking yourself, why is there a gun safe with some weapons sitting on top of it? Well, we're about to review the RPNB gun safe with a quick access biometric fingerprint scanner. So I wanted to bring out some different weapons of different sizes so we could show how they fit inside the safe in comparison. This is a rather small safe compared to other ones that I own, other quick access safes that I own. This one is nice because you can literally slip it under a cabinet or whatever, or screw it onto a wall. But we'll talk about that in a minute. For right now, just weapon safety. The weapons are empty. There's nothing in there, so we've got the clips so we can see from a size perspective how they fit in there. We will check the other weapon. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. All right, so we know that we have our cleared weapons. So we are going to open the safe. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? Well, this one I didn't clear, so we'll clear that one here. All right, that's clear. That's clear. Okay, so you see you got a PT 738, 380 caliber. Fits just fine in here. 2 magazines and the weapon, no issue there. We have the Glock 43 9mm. It also fits in there with no problem. And lastly, we have the Glock 19. Now this is a bit thicker weapon, so let's go ahead and close the safe, make sure that it closes correctly. And it does. So we can see that it holds a weapon. I also have a 17, which is going to be a bit longer, and that will also, I didn't bring that one out, but that one will fit in here as well too. This magazine actually is a magazine for the Glock 17, not the 19. So just for consistency's sake, let's put a 19 in there. There we go. And there it is. It works. So we've shown that this can pretty much handle any from a subcompact to a full-size weapon with no issues. That's not a problem. It's going to be, hardened steel. Matter of fact, let's just get this weapon out of here so we're not bumping into things. We'll focus on the safe. So the safe comes with this foam padding on the inside and on the roof as well, as you can see. Comes with mounting screws and anchors. You would mount that via these attachment holes in the back. I chose to use the cable, which I actually have installed underneath the cabinet right now, so I'm not going to bring it out, but it's basically a standard 3-foot mounting cable. It's very thick cable, so I mean it can be cut, obviously, as any cable can be cut if you've got cutters that are strong enough, but this is braided steel. They'd have some pretty good cutters to cut it and to be able to steal the safe. Hopefully you're going to have an alarm in your house and prevent that from happening because you have an alarm. So but as we all know, if a thief wants to steal something, they're going to find a way to steal it. This will just make that harder for them to do. This is 16 gauge carbon steel construction, so it is very hard and thick. It is heavy for its size. Obviously you can't tell that in the video, but it is a fairly heavy case, so it is solidly built. And the hinge for the door is crafted as such as when it opens and you push it back, it stays open from on a level ground. It just stays open, which is good. You don't have to be futzing with a lid that keeps on trying to close on your hand as you're trying to retrieve a weapon during an intense situation. Also, I don't know if you noticed that when it pops open, it's actually tension activated to the top. So I'll put it on its side here, and you can kind of see when it pops open. It just pops open on its own. I didn't push it open. It did that all on its own because of the way it's built in the back. The tension is forcing it open. See, I'm not doing anything, and it stays open. So it pops open. You can easily reach in, retrieve your weapon, do whatever it is that you need to do without having to fight with the lid and stick your fingers in there and try to get it open as you're, in a tense situation when you're trying to get to a weapon quickly. They have a reminder in there, press lid firmly to lock because it wants to stay open, right? So, you push it down and you're going to hear that motor kick in and actually lock the little locking blades that are in there. It runs off of 4 AAA batteries in there. They should last a long time. If you are having to open and close your safe on a daily basis, well, I guess if you use it as a normal weapons lock, that would be normal. But the way I use mine, this one isn't going to be opened unless I actually need to use the weapon for a reason. That's not going to be a nice reason. So that being said, the battery should last a long time on this, because it's only just the mechanism for unlocking it that utilizes the battery, and obviously the little light on the sensor there. The sensor is very large. Let's bring it up here so you can see it better. See, in comparison to my finger or even my thumb, that's a fairly large sensor, much larger than what's on your phone or your laptop. So it does a good job of picking up your fingerprints. It's a 500 dpi semiconductor biometric fingerprint sensor. So it's going to pick up a good image of whatever fingerprints you want to register on there. And I would suggest that you register multiple fingers on both hands. Just if you cut your finger or something, it's going to slightly alter your fingerprint, and that finger may no longer work until that heals back up. And obviously, your significant other, you might want to register their fingerprints as well too, so they have access to it. The safe is once again easy to mount on a wall, and you can pop it in a drawer. I mean, it's small enough to just put it in a drawer. It is thin enough that it will pretty much slide under any kind of cabinet, as you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and close it because it keeps on setting my my sensors off. Just on a side note, I've got a Corky sensor here, so anytime any of my safes are opened or closed, my smart sensors notify me on my phone and tablets, and you heard that lovely ding 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 in the background. If it stays open too long, it dings and lets everybody know and turns on a red light, blah blah blah. So anyway, I'm just going to close it for that reason. It also comes with 2 keys to open it. You can pop the key in, turn it, and once again, it immediately pops open. I put on the padded feet myself because this one just slides underneath the cabinet. That's the reason why it has the padded feet. I didn't want it scratching at my wood floors because it is rather heavy. And like I said, it's a solid construction. I don't know how many positive things to say about this. I have been looking for a safe this size for this very reason, because I wanted to keep a weapon handy in the living area near the front door in case something happened there. So this fit the bill. And as you can see, I can actually put multiple weapons in there if I want to. Maybe a little bit of a tight fit. I may not be able to get this in here. Certainly the weapon that I was originally testing with will definitely fit in there with no problem. Let's try this configuration here. No, that's not going to work. So if I were to take this out, probably wouldn't work here. Well, in reality, I store my weapons locked and loaded, so this is actually the way in that I would be storing the weapon. And I would actually be using a shorter magazine for this one, but nonetheless, it will sit. You can store multiple weapons in here with no issue, fully loaded. And I could probably put my 17 in there along with my 43 with no issues. I'd probably have a hard time trying to get a 19 and a 17 in here at the same time. Well, maybe not. I might be able to get a 17 on this side and a 19 on the other side. Anyway, nonetheless, you can put at least two weapons in here, full size to subcompact weapons with no issue, and that will allow you to have a choice of firearms stored in a relatively small safe size. So I'm going to stop speaking because there's not much more to say about this thing. Oh, well, one more thing. The cable securing it goes here. Goes in that slot right there. So, and then of course when you close it, then the cable is snapped shut in there. Anyway, that is the end of the review. I hope you found it helpful and it helps you in making a decision whether or not you want to buy this safe. I'm enjoying it, and I will see you next time.